Most people have never opened the lid of their toilet tank. There is no reason to. It sits there, doing its job, completely out of sight. But that hidden space is one of the most neglected parts of the entire bathroom, and what lives inside it ends up in every single flush, every single day, without anyone ever knowing. Mineral deposits build up on the tank walls over years. Mildew forms along the water line in the damp, dark conditions every tank provides. In humid bathrooms, mold finds its way into the corners where light never reaches. None of this is visible from outside. All of it ends up in the water that rinses the bowl every time the toilet is used, which means the bowl is constantly being cleaned by water that was never clean to begin with. Hydrogen peroxide is the reason this matters. The same 3% bottle sold for cuts and scrapes turns out to be remarkably effective against exactly this kind of buildup, and the reason comes down to chemistry rather than marketing. Bleach, the product most associated with bathroom cleaning, disinfects surfaces on contact, but it leaves behind a chemical residue. That residue continues reacting with whatever it touches, including the rubber seals inside a toilet tank that keep the flushing mechanism working correctly. Over years of bleach use, those seals degrade. Hydrogen peroxide works differently. It breaks down completely into water and oxygen, leaving nothing behind. The mineral deposits, the mildew, the bacterial film, all of it gets broken down chemically, and nothing toxic remains afterward. The effect carries through to the bowl. Water that comes from a tank free of contamination keeps the bowl cleaner for longer, simply because the source of the problem has been dealt with rather than continually reintroduced. The bowl itself has its own version of this issue. The brown ring that returns no matter how often a toilet gets cleaned is a mineral deposit, calcium and magnesium, that has bonded to the porcelain over time, sitting in a layer too thin to scrub away, but thick enough to be visible. Bleach changes the color of that stain temporarily because it cannot break the mineral bond underneath. This is why the ring always comes back, often within days, regardless of which product was used or how hard the scrubbing was. Hydrogen peroxide combined with baking soda creates a chemical reaction that physically breaks that bond, lifting the deposit away from the porcelain entirely, rather than just bleaching its surface a different shade. The seat, lid, and handle are the most frequently touched surfaces in any bathroom and the least considered when it comes to cleaning. Hydrogen peroxide eliminates bacterial contamination on these surfaces without the sticky chemical residue that bleach-based products typically leave. The result is a surface that is actually clean, not one that simply smells like a cleaning product was recently used. The toilet brush represents one of the most overlooked sources of bathroom contamination. It contacts the dirtiest surface in the house and then sits inside a closed, damp holder where bacteria multiply between uses day after day in a space that almost never gets cleaned. Effectively, the tool meant to clean the toilet becomes a vector for recontaminating it every time it is used. Hydrogen peroxide eliminates the bacterial buildup on the bristles and inside the holder itself, addressing what has long been an unrecognized source of bathroom odor that no amount of bowl cleaning can solve on its own. A toilet that drains more slowly than it should is often showing early signs of organic buildup inside the pipes, well before any actual blockage occurs. The reaction between hydrogen peroxide and baking soda produces a foaming effect that breaks down this kind of buildup without the corrosive effect that heavy commercial drain cleaners have on pipes over time, addressing a problem most people do not notice until it has already become serious. The broader pattern across all of this is the same. Bleach has dominated bathroom cleaning for decades because it smells powerful and produces immediate visible results. But what it actually does is disinfect the surface while leaving behind a residue that limits its long-term effectiveness and contributes to wear on the fixtures it touches. Hydrogen peroxide addresses the underlying causes, mineral deposits, mildew, and bacterial film, and leaves nothing behind when it breaks down. The results last longer because the cause has actually been removed. A single bottle costs very little and is effective across every surface mentioned here. A toilet maintained this way, including the tank, bowl, seat, and brush, stays cleaner for a meaningfully longer period than one maintained with bleach alone, for reasons that come down entirely to chemistry rather than marketing. What's your biggest bathroom cleaning struggle? The tank, the ring, or something else entirely? Let me know in the comments. Hit like and subscribe for more videos like this one. See you in the next one.